The first arrow struck the ground at his feet, quivering like a warning sent by the earth itself. The second would not miss. Jacob Hale froze beside the creek, rifle half raised, heart hammering so loud he was sure the canyon could hear it. He had come west to disappear, to bury his grief in mountains and stone, but now the wilderness had found him, and it was watching. "Do not move," a voice said from the rocks, calm and steady. Not a shout. Not anger. Authority. Jacob slowly lowered the rifle and raised his hands. He had learned enough in the last year to know when a life balanced on a breath. Men stepped out from the shadows, Apache warriors, faces unreadable, bows drawn. They were not wild as the towns back east described. They were precise, controlled, dangerous. They took him to their camp at dusk, bound but unharmed. Smoke rose in thin lines from cook fires. Children paused to stare. Women watched with guarded eyes. At the center sat an elder wrapped in a worn blue blanket, his hair silver, his gaze sharp as flint. When Jacob was brought before him, the old man studied him for a long moment, as if reading a story written beneath the skin. "You came to our water," the elder said. "Why?" Jacob swallowed. "I was hunting. I didn't know this land was." "All land is someone's," the elder replied quietly. "That should have been the end of it. Trespassers often were. But that night, fate twisted. A scream tore through the camp just after dark. Horses reared. Men shouted. Gunfire cracked from the ridge above. Outlaws, Jacob realized, drawn by smoke and rumors of a hidden Apache camp. Panic surged as bullets tore through canvas and firelight. Before Jacob could think, instinct took over. He had fought once before, not in war, but to save his wife from men who never gave her a chance. He broke free in the chaos, grabbed his fallen rifle, and ran toward the sound of crying near the edge of camp. A small group of children and women were trapped between rocks, pinned by gunfire. Jacob moved like a man already dead. He fired from cover, dragged a wounded boy to safety, shouted warnings in a voice hoarse with desperation. One outlaw fell, then another. The rest fled into the darkness when Apache warriors surged up the slope, fury unleashed. By dawn, the attackers were gone. Smoke drifted low over the camp, carrying the smell of blood and ash. Jacob sat on a rock, hands shaking, waiting for the end he had earned by living. Instead, the elder approached him. "You could have run," the old man said. "You did not." Jacob met his eyes. "I know what it's like to lose family." The elder nodded once. "You saved many lives. You saved my tribe." Days passed. Jacob was no longer bound. He helped repair shelters, cleaned wounds, shared what little knowledge he had. The tribe watched him closely, suspicion slowly giving way to something else, curiosity, perhaps respect. And then there was her. Aiyana. She was the elder's daughter, though no one spoke it aloud at first. She moved like quiet water, strong and graceful, carrying herself with calm certainty. She brought Jacob food without meeting his eyes at first, then asked him careful questions. Where he came from, why his voice sometimes broke when he spoke of the past. She listened more than she spoke, but when she did, her words mattered. Jacob learned her story in fragments. Her mother had died years ago. She had helped raise her younger cousins, learned healing from the women, leadership from her father. She was not sheltered, not naive. She had seen loss. She had survived it. One evening, as the sun bled red into the hills, the elder summoned Jacob to the council fire. The tribe gathered in a wide circle. Aiyana stood beside her father, her face composed, eyes steady. The elder's voice carried across the silence. "You came to us as a stranger. You stood between my people and death. You did not ask for reward." He paused, then spoke words that struck Jacob like thunder. "You saved my tribe, now I give you my daughter as a wife." The world tilted. Jacob's first instinct was horror, not at the offer, but at the weight of it. He looked at Aiyana, whose face remained calm, though her hands clenched at her sides. "I can't accept that," Jacob said quickly. "I won't take a woman like payment. I've lost a wife once. I won't." The elder raised a hand. "Listen, this is not payment," the old man said. "This is honor. But honor cannot be forced." He turned to Aiyana. "My daughter chooses her path." All eyes shifted to her. Aiyana stepped forward. "I will not be given like a thing," she said clearly. "But I will choose." She looked at Jacob, really looked at him. "You did not run when you could. You grieve, but you do not harden." I do not know what tomorrow brings, but I choose to walk it with you, if you will have me. Jacob's chest tightened. The choice, the respect, broke something open inside him. I won't promise you an easy life, he said quietly. But I promise you honesty. And that I will never cage you. Aiyana nodded once. Then I accept. The marriage was simple. No spectacle. Just firelight, shared food, and words spoken softly under the stars. Some in the tribe watched with doubt. Others with hope. Jacob felt both settle on his shoulders. Life together was not a fairy tale. Cultures collided. Grief resurfaced. Jacob woke some nights calling another woman's name, and Aiyana learned that love did not erase the past, it made room beside it. She challenged him when he retreated into silence. He learned to listen without trying to fix what could only be felt. Trouble came again in the form of soldiers, drawn by rumors and fear. They demanded the tribe relocate, or face force. The elder was tired. His body bore too many winters. The decision threatened to tear the people apart. Jacob stood before the soldiers, unarmed. He spoke not as a conqueror, but as a witness. He told them of the attack the tribe had suffered, of the lives saved, of a people who defended, not provoked. He offered maps, knowledge of safer passage, proof that peace was possible. It was not one speech that changed things, but many small choices. Aiyana's diplomacy. The elder's wisdom. Jacob's refusal to let violence be the first answer. In time, the soldiers withdrew. Not forever. Not perfectly. But enough. The elder died the following spring, passing quietly as the dawn touched the hills. At the funeral, Aiyana stood tall, grief etched deep but unbreaking. When the tribe looked to her, she did not turn away. Jacob stood beside her, not as a savior, not as an owner, but as a partner. Years later, travelers would tell stories of a place where two worlds met without destroying each other. Where love was chosen, not taken. Where a man who came to disappear found a reason to stay, and a woman who was once offered as a symbol became a leader in her own right. And the message endured like a fire passed hand to hand through generations. True honor is not what you are given, but what you choose to protect.